Many times when we think about resilience, we think about it in isolation. But one of the most important things as you set out to develop career resilience, as you set out to think about sustainability, keeping yourself going, it's all about relationships. You'll hear this time and time again at Northeastern. You'll hear about the power of network, for example. You'll hear about our amazing body of alumni and students and lifelong learners. And ultimately, relationships are everything. When we look at the resilience, at the science of resilience, when we look at the literature, the body of literature that talks about resilience, it talks about protective factors. And overwhelmingly, we see this idea, this notion come up time and time again. The relationships are what protect us. Relationships are what sustain us. Relationships are what help us get the work done, that help us to not take life too seriously, that help us to find the joy, to express awe, to be grateful, to make it through. Because it's hard. Life is hard, work is hard, and without people that can hold the space for us, that we can trust, that we can be ourselves with, that can give us encouragement, that can give us accountability, we really will struggle. And in behavior science, they talk about this a lot. They say that psychoeducation is good. So all the things you're learning in this context with us, it's good. It helps us. It helps us name phenomena. It helps us to change our mindsets. It adds to our skill set. It helps us shift behavior. But without what they call supervised skill practice, which is just a fancy way of saying having community, having people, relationships, spaces to practice it, to keep moving it forward, to maybe even fall on our face and struggle, but move along. We need the people around us that are going to cheer us on, that are going to see us. They're going to see our strengths. They're going to see our beauty. They're going to see our essence. They're going to recognize our worth. They're not going to feel like we're imposters, even when we make mistakes, even when we so-called mess up or we don't hit the mark. They're going to see our worth, and they're going to help egg us on, encourage us, and keep us going when inevitably we all have those moments of distress, of imposter stuff. So find your tribe. Find your relationships. Open yourself up. Notice who is it that you look up to. See if they'll grab a cup of coffee. They'll mentor you. You can have honest conversation. You can ask them, how did they stay resilient in the face of adversity? How did they overcome their own variations of imposter syndrome? What activities did they engage in to protect and have break rituals and institute self-care in their lives? We learn so much from each other. It's an untapped resource. And again, time can squeeze out relationships, or trepidation or fear or social anxiety. We can feel like we're the only ones that grapple with these insecurities or these doubts or the overwhelm. And that's the biggest lie that I think anxiety can tell us, or imposter syndrome, or social anxiety, that we're the only ones. So take that risk. Take that risk in your professional life. Take it in your personal life. I think we're really good at giving help as leaders. We're really not so great at asking for help. Asking for help will be a bond that you form with people around you, because the minute you do it, people will say, I thought it was just me. I thought I was the only one. I'm so glad you mentioned that. That's exactly the experience I've had. And that is what creates a cord and a bind between us that elevates us all, that helps us link arms and get to a better place together, to overcome the tides of burnout today, of imposter syndrome, all the things that we grapple with. The further along we try to climb the ladder, we face that risk of falling off of it. So we need people holding that ladder. We need people pointing out things we might not see when the elevation gets too high for us and we can't breathe so well, or the ladder starts to shake. We need our community. We need our safety nets around us. We need people who are going to be able to elevate us and keep us on track.